and welcome to Joyful Business TV. I am Laura West. I am the CEO of the Center for Joyful Business, and I'm also a creative mindset and business success coach. So, for over 20 years, I have been helping conscious, creative, sensitive, and really ambitious entrepreneurs who want to make a difference in the world and have a really successful business in every which way. Help them run their business in a way that is really soul nourishing and aligned with the work that they feel like they are meant to do in the world. It's all about bringing you ways to be authentic, real, generous, caring, and aligning your energy from the inside out so that you can truly share your soul work and be a leader with your message so that you can make a difference and make really good money while you're at it. So today I am actually on vacation. So I have a special guest host and I want to introduce her, and then she is going to actually be the guest host of today's show. So I'm thrilled that my friend and colleague, Dr. Davia Shepherd, has agreed to be the guest today. She has a wonderful company and community called Ladies Power Lunch, Grow Smarter, Not Harder, and she is going to talk to you all about collaboration. And she is, let me tell you, she is a master collaborator. She has taught me a few things. And so pay attention. I know you will learn a few things about collaboration and be really inspired. So I hope you enjoy the show, and we'll see you on the next episode.
Hi, everybody. I am Dr. Davia Shepherd. Some of you might know me because you might have watched my show on the Win-Win Women Network, which is called Grow Your Business Smarter, Live Your Optimal Life. I'm really great friends with your show host, Laura West, and she is also one of my coaches. She's a dear friend. She's amazing. I love her. And I was so honored when she asked me, will you host my show? And she trusts me so much. Her trust in me is so great that she's allowed me to develop the content that I'm going to share with you today. And what I want to talk to you a little bit about today is the things that Laura talks to you about and the things that I talk to the people who watch my show about are so aligned. We're always talking about growing your business, but in a way that brings joy to your heart, which is what Laura talks about. And what I talk about is growing your business in a way that is smarter so that you can live your optimal life, so that you can be in ease and flow, and that it can be so much easier and so much better, and that you will light up as you are living your business, as you're living your life through your business. And the people that you're working with, they will light up. And then the people that they're interacting with, those people, they're going to light up too. And then the people that they're interacting with will light up too. And on it goes in this symphony of just lighting up. And before you know it, the whole entire world changes, but not just changes, guys, it changes for the better. So like I said before, I'm Dr. Davia Shepherd. I host a women's group called Ladies Power Lunch. And basically all we are is just a place where women, it's completely free. If you're interested in ever joining us, come on over to facebook.ladiespowerlunch.com and you can join us. It's just a place where women who believe that women supporting women is an amazing idea can come on over and we all support each other. That's all we do all day long, is just support each other. Who knew there was a place like that? Well, that's all we do. So what I want to talk about today is collaboration. I want to talk about collaboration. I want to talk a little bit about, and you're like, collaboration, why are you even talking about collaboration? How is that important? And why is that important for my business? And how does that even signify? Look, there are more important things that we have to talk about, but hey guys, no, this is where we start, because when we link arms with each other, one, we all, support each other, and that's going to be a great thing. But two, we grow our businesses, we grow our income, we grow our impact, we grow our presence, we grow basically we grow everything. We grow our time freedom, all the things, all the metrics that we're looking to grow in our businesses, all of that stuff increases. So yay on that front. Second thing that we're going to talk about today is visibility, because one of the things that I've noticed, and I pulled our group, our ladies power lunch group that I mentioned before, again, if anybody's interested in checking that out, it's facebook.ladiespowerlunch.com, and you can just head on over there, check us out if you want to be a part of that amazing movement of women just supporting each other. You're free to join us. But I polled us, and one of the things that people are suggesting is that now, over the last 2 years, now that we've all been a little bit more online, and somebody even made the joke that even their grandmother's online selling stuff nowadays. Now that everybody's online, it's a little bit more difficult to get your voice heard above the din that is online selling. And so how do you get visible, especially if you are a heart-centered entrepreneur who has a message that you really, really want to get heard? So we're going to talk a little bit about that, and we're going to talk about how collaboration is actually helpful for that. We're going to talk about what's a collaboration, what's not a collaboration, who are energy vampires, and how do we avoid them? We've got a lot to talk about today, guys. So buckle in, strap in. It's going to be a wild ride, but it's going to be tons of fun, I hope, for you and for me too. So let's dive in. Let's talk a little bit about collaboration. So I'm going to tell you a really, really quick story about how I feel like I was introduced to this whole world of collaboration. It all started on a sunny day back in May, about 40 years ago, when a beautiful baby girl was born. No, we won't go back that far, but I was couldn't have been more than 8 years old. I don't think. I was living in Jamaica. My parents are Jamaican. We moved to Jamaica because my dad got a job with the Jamaican government, and we moved to Jamaica, and there was a hurricane. I'm not sure how old I was, but there was a hurricane, and trees were down in lots of different people's yards. Some people lost their roofs. It was. Have any of you ever lived through a hurricane? Not great, guys. Not great. If I can think of anything, I live in the Northeast. I live in Connecticut. I'm trying to think of anything that's even remotely close to the devastation that we witnessed in that hurricane scenario. And what I can think of is like a really, really bad snowstorm when the power is out and that sort of thing. Anyway, we're kids, we're running around the neighborhood, we're checking out all the things that have happened during the hurricane. And what I noticed is that everybody's just like trying to pick through the debris and trying to clean up their own yard. And super smart me, because obviously I was the smartest kid on the block, right? No, not really. But I thought to myself, why is everybody trying so hard to clean up their own yard and not really doing a really great job? Why don't we all just work together, clean up each yard? We do a better job, because these trees are heavy. Me by myself couldn't lift a tree, but if we work together, we could lift all these trees. I made the suggestion to my mom. My mom made the suggestion to another few grown-ups, and before we knew it, everybody took on my brilliant idea. Brilliant in quotation marks. It was a great idea, guys. It really, really was, because our block was the first block to get completely cleaned up after this storm. My mom had a freezer full of food that was going to get, destroyed as a result of us all losing power. She set up barbecue grills. A whole bunch of people set up barbecue grills, and everybody was grilling out, and it just turned into a huge party, and we were grilling and cleaning up yards. The little kids, everybody is like picking up picking up little brambles along the way, and everybody was just out having a great time. We cleaned up in record time. We had a great time doing it because we weren't doing it alone. It's tons of fun. It was amazing. It worked out really, really well. Great fun for everybody. It all worked out well. Why did it work out well? Because Collaboration, guys, collaboration. And that was perhaps my first memory that I can think of collaboration, of something that had people working together for a greater purpose, a greater good, something that was going to benefit everybody. And it worked out really, really well. So I kind of have a really bad example that I have stuck in my brain from way back when I was a little girl, that I have brought forward to perhaps everything that I have used as an example for my life going forward. Now, keep in mind, I still had to go through high school, I still had to go through college, and I had to experience all the things that were not collaborations. You know the things I'm talking about, the things that we still all have PTSD around, the things like, remember those what did we call them, group projects that we all had to do, and there was somebody in the group who they were just disinterested. They didn't do any of the work at all. They didn't do anything. They were not part of the group. We're still waiting on them to turn in their piece. Then there was that person who they didn't want to get a bad grade, so they pretty much did everything. That was me, guys. That was me. I was that one who was doing everything. And then there were some people who half-heartedly may have put in some work, but it really wasn't worth as much. So a lot of us, when we think of that idea of collaboration, we think of that group project that we did back in grade school or back in high school or back in college. And we allow that to color the idea of getting involved in a collaboration when we are in our businesses, whether we're working in corporate or we're working as an entrepreneur or a solopreneur, or wherever we find ourselves in our work life. It becomes a challenge because we have some post-traumatic stress surrounding working together with others. But what I have to tell you today is that the things that we're thinking of, perhaps the examples that we've had in the past that we're thinking of as what examples of collaborations really are perhaps not what collaborations are. Let me just tell you what a collaboration is. If you're getting into a relationship with somebody else and it's a relationship that is for business, you want to make sure there are four things in place in order for it to be truly a collaboration. You want to make sure, and we're talking about business here, if I'm going to get into a relationship with you and we're getting into a partnership and we're hoping that's going to be, beneficial, we're going to make money together, this is going to be great. I want to make sure that you're winning. We're going to want to make sure that I'm winning. We're going to want to make sure that the customer is winning. This has to be beneficial for the customer as well. We also want to make sure that whatever we're doing is a win for the greater good. So guys, yes, we're on the Win-Win Women Network. It's not a surprise. It has to be a win, has to be a win, has to be a win, and has to be a win. 4 wins, and you've got yourself a collaboration. That's what a true collaboration is. In a lot of cases, what I have discovered is that there's one person, it's not well balanced. In some cases, one person is benefiting way more than another person. There's more work being put in than another person, or the customer is not benefiting as much as they should, or it's not a great look for the greater good. So you want to, if you are thinking about getting involved in a collaboration for work purposes, then you're going to want to think about, are the 4 wins in place? But why would you even want to consider a collaboration for work? Well, it goes back to my story about, why I thought collaboration was going to be great for us when we had our little hurricane. When you get involved with a collaboration for work, especially in trying times, especially in times that are more difficult, what you find is that you don't have to go it alone. What you find is that it's not only up to you. You have somebody to watch your back, and it's tons more fun. You're able to get way more done, and you're able to see results that are exponential. There are 5 things, and I write about it in my book, Grow Smarter. You might see it up on my shelf here. In that book, Grow Smarter, I read about the 5 things that you want to make sure of when you're getting involved with somebody in a collaboration. You just want to make sure these 5 things are in place. And if these 5 things are in place, then you tend to be off to the races as far as your collaboration goes. You want to make sure first, before you dive headfirst into a collaboration, you want to make sure that you ask this question. And I'm not saying go ahead and ask somebody to be in a collaboration with you. I am saying to you, ask of yourself, go within. And this is always my suggestion to anybody. You always want to go into quiet contemplation, do a little deep dive with yourself. Ask the question, what do I want? What do I want from a collaboration? What are my hard stops? What are my no's? What are my values? What are the things that are really important to me? What are the things that I want? And what are my yeses and what are my absolute no's? And if you are able to sit in quiet contemplation and come to a decision about what it is that you want, ask of yourself what you want, then you can ask of others. But if you go into these partnerships, these relationships without even knowing yourself, if you don't know yourself, you can't know the other. You see how that makes sense, right? Second thing that I would say is you want to make sure that when you're joining with somebody else in any kind of relationship, and I feel like all relationships are some kind of collaboration. If you're talking to your mother-in-law, it's a collaboration. If you're talking to your children, it's a collaboration. Your spouse, your employees, any kind of relationship that you're in is some kind of collaboration. Am I right? So your partnership with somebody for work that is going to yield a product that you're producing to a client, collaboration, you want to make sure that it's in alignment. You really want to make sure that there's aligned communication. You want to make sure that you both have very similar values. When we were writing this book, Grow Smarter, we did a bunch of interviews with entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, corporate women, women who were at many different areas, many different levels of business, being in business, and trying to kind of pick their brain, figure out from them, what is it that makes a good partnership when you get into business with somebody else? What makes that partnership really great and really grow? And one of the things that kept coming up is one, communication that's aligned. Because have you ever been in conversation with somebody and you feel like you're saying the same words, but somehow it's not meaning the same thing? Like you're saying apples and you're saying apples, but somehow they're hearing oranges. Has that ever happened to you? I'm sure you've had that happen to you at some point in time. Is the communication aligned? Is the energy aligned? Like the energy is important. Are the values aligned? One of the things that's really important to me is no matter what's going on, the client has to get their deliverable. No matter what's going on in our background, that's our problem. The client has to get their deliverable. And I feel like if somebody else is in partnership with me, they have to have that same feeling. Not everybody feels that way. And so whomever is going to be on board with me in my collaboration, they're going to have that same value system. So these are some of the things that have to be communicated ahead of time. That's thing two. Thing three for me is all in. And I know you're probably thinking, does that mean that your partner, your collaboration partner, has to be all in? And yes, they do. But it means for me, more importantly, am I all in? And I've found myself in so many cases where people, because they know that I'm all about collaboration, I'm like, yay, collaboration. always talking about collaboration because I feel like we're so much stronger when we work together. People are always inviting me into collaborations, but I have to ask myself, am I all in on this? And a lot of the times I'm busy with other projects. I am unable to commit completely and provide this project that somebody's inviting me to with the time and the energy that would be warranted for what they're asking for. And so I have to ask, am I all in? Are you all in? Yes, but also, am I all in? And so that's a really, really important question that has to be asked. Another question that we have to ask is, are the right assignments being given? Are we making sure that everybody who's a part of this collaboration is being given the right assignments? So I'll give you a perfect example. Hopped onto a collaboration with a perfectly beautiful friend of mine, and she is amazing at making websites. Now, I know how to build a website, but she is, no, you don't understand, amazing at building websites. Guess what? I'm gonna do it all. You probably figured that out from listening to me talk for a little while now. I'm gonna do it all. So I'm like, yeah, I'll build a website. That's not the assignment that I should have taken because I'm not amazing at building websites. She's amazing at building websites. That would have been a perfect assignment for her. And of course, the aligned communication that we had, we figured out pretty soon that websites was going to be a better assignment for her and doing something else was going to be better for me. And so we divvied up our tasks a little bit better and it worked out a whole lot better for us. So assignments, guys, make sure that we're doing the things that are in our genius and we're allowing other people to do the things that are in their genius. And then what about the things that are not in your genius and not in the genius of your collaboration partner? What about those things? Well, guess what? That's where step 5 comes in. We're talking about applications. We're talking about resources. We're talking about plugins. We're talking about all the technological or human resources that are available to us. Here's the thing, guys. When it comes to a collaboration, it doesn't mean that the collaboration partners need to be bogged down with every single bit of minutia that needs to be done as part of the project that's on hand. And so going back to the example that I mentioned before with my friend and I who were doing this collaboration together, she decided that she would set up this website for this project that we were going to do. And I was going to do some lives on social media because I'm a talkie and I love to talk, and you've probably figured that out by now. And there were other things that needed to be done, some background things. And so we actually ended up hiring somebody in the background to do all of those things. We ended up using some apps and some other resources to take advantage of that. So basically, you want to ask, go within. What do I need from this collaboration? Because collaborations are amazing and they can expand your income, your impact, your time freedom in a way that is exponential. But you need to ask yourself, what is it that I really want? You need to make sure that there's alignment. You need to make sure that you're all in. You need to make sure that everybody has the right assignments. And then based on whatever else there is that needs to be done, you need to make sure that you take into consideration what other applications you need to employ. One last thing that I want to mention before we hop off today is that we're in this new media nowadays. There is so much that's out there now. And so for the passionate entrepreneur, the passionate woman in business, the passionate solopreneur, that makes it even worse, who wants to make a difference, who wants to have her voice heard, it becomes even more difficult. Am I right? I mean, everybody is online, and how do you cut through all the noise that's out there? And if you feel like you have a message that needs to be shared, how do you share that message in a way that your ideal client hears you? It's really, really a question that we all find ourselves, well, asking ourselves. And so, my answer to this question of getting more visible, my answer to many things actually is collaboration. And I'm going to give you guys a little homework project. And I want you to do this homework and then I want you to report back to me because I know for sure that your answer is going to be in the affirmative. You're going to be like, yep, it worked, hands down. Here's the thing, you find a buddy, go ahead. This is your test of whether or not collaboration actually works to increase your visibility, and not just randomly, because you can increase your visibility randomly to random people who have no interest in what you have to offer. If you say to somebody who has no interest in what you have to offer, hey, I'm offering this thing, they'll be like, okay, fine. You keep offering it over there and I'll be over here. Great. But if you say to somebody who needs your widget, hey, I have this widget and it's really going to light up your life, they're going to be saying, oh my goodness, I've needed this widget. Where have you been all my life? They're going to take your widget, it's going to light up their life, and they're going to be able to light up their people, and their people are going to be able to light up their people, and their other people are going to light up their other people, and on it's going to go until the whole world just becomes a symphony of beautiful light. And so here's the homework, because I've been hinting at this. Here's the homework. Find a friend. Find somebody with whom you have really, really deep alignment. Someone who is also going to be all in on this project. Someone who is going to be able to pick up on their piece of this assignment. And what you're going to do is you're going to share each other's audiences. So you can do it in a number of different ways. The way I'm going to suggest it is I'm going to suggest that you share each other's social media. So find the social media that for you is your number one social media. So if you are mostly on Facebook, then Facebook it is. If you're mostly on LinkedIn, LinkedIn it is. If you're mostly on Instagram, Instagram it is. And what you're going to do is for just one whole week, both of you go together and do a Facebook Live. One day you talk about your thing. Next day you talk about her thing. Next day, talk about your thing. Next day, talk about their thing. And just share each other's audiences every other day. Talk about each other's things. Endorse each other. Give each other testimonials. Talk about each other. Talk up each other. Share each other's audiences. Do it for 1 week. Just 1 week. And watch what happens. Report back to me. Every time I do a show on my channel, which is the Grow Your Business Smarter, Live Your Optimal Life show, I usually draw a card from the Sacred Rebels deck. And it's so hilarious because when I drew the card this week on my own show, this was the exact same card that I drew. I shuffled the deck, guys, and it's so interesting. It's Softly, Softly, The Tender Touch. The book is a Sacred Rebels guidebook, and they're just thoughts for the day. I like them. They give you a nice little thought that you can take with you through the day to really give you something nice to think about, something to give you a jumping off point for your day. And this one says, the feminine wisdom of gentleness can assist you now. When we are at a point in life where we want to attain greater things, but don't necessarily have a proportionally greater supply of energy at our disposal, it's time to work smarter rather than harder. This is the way of feminine wisdom. Guys, I did not pick that card by choice. It showed up all by itself. I love you all. Laura, thank you so much for trusting me with your show. Thanks for the opportunity to be here with your friends. If anybody wants to reach out to me, you can find me on social media. I'm Dr. Davia Shepherd. And guys, come watch me on my show. I'd love to have you. Grow Smarter, Not Harder.com is my book. It is my website. And Grow Smarter: Collaboration Secrets to Transform Your Income and Impact is my book. You can find it on Amazon. Have a wonderful day, everybody, and I'll see you on the next show. Bye.
Thank you for watching this episode of Joyful Business TV. I want to invite you to get more creative strategies and support for growing your business. You can start right now by activating your abundance mindset with a really powerful creative visualization that will help you get into the universal abundance current, one of my favorite things to do. And you'll also get a companion 7-day journal that will help you create a daily habit of co-creating with the universe. These are two powerful resources that you can get started right now to help grow your business and activate that abundant mindset. You just go over to activateabundancegift.com.